Imagine waking up one morning, thinking it's just another Tuesday. You go through your routine, but something feels off. Deja vu hits you hard. You know what people are gonna say before they say it? You know, a car is gonna run a red light. And then, at the end of the day, something terrible happens. You die. Only to wake up in your bed, and it's the exact same Tuesday morning all over again. This isn't a nightmare. This is the reality for Dr. Eris Thorne, a brilliant physicist who pushed the boundaries of science too far. During what was supposed to be a groundbreaking time travel experiment, a catastrophic malfunction didn't just send him through time, it shattered it. Now Eris is trapped in a vicious, unbreakable 24-hour loop. Every single day is the same day. He wakes up at 7 a.m. The same news report plays on the radio. His neighbor says the same cheerful hello. But here's the terrifying twist. No matter what he does, by midnight, he's dead. In the first loop, it was a freak accident, a gas leak in his lab. He woke up, gasping for air, back in his bed. The next day, he avoided the lab completely. He decided to go for a long walk in the park, but as he crossed the street, a speeding truck, seemingly out of nowhere, lost control. He died instantly. Again, he woke up. Same bed. Same Tuesday morning. He remembers everything. The pain, the fear, the confusion. But for everyone else, the day is brand new. He tried everything. He stayed home and locked all the doors. A massive sinkhole opened up right under his house. He tried leaving the city. The train derailed. He even tried turning himself in to the police, babbling about a deadly time loop. They thought he was crazy, and he ended up in a padded cell, which somehow caught fire. Death always finds him. It's like the universe itself has a personal vendetta against him. Each time he wakes up, the memory of his previous demise is seared into his mind. He has experienced death in hundreds of different ways, like falling, drowning, even being hit by a stray meteorite. Yes, a meteorite. At first, he thought it was a flaw in the experiment, a glitch in the temporal matrix. But as the loops continued, the deaths became more creative, more specific. It stopped feeling like random chance and started feeling like a carefully orchestrated hunt. The coincidences were too perfect, the accidents too elaborate. It dawned on him with chilling certainty. This wasn't an accident. Someone had turned his greatest achievement into his personal, eternal prison. Someone was pulling the strings, a puppet master enjoying a show where he was the only actor, and the final act was always his death. With this horrifying realization, Aris's mission changed. It wasn't just about surviving the day anymore. It was about finding the person responsible. He started using the loops to his advantage. Since he remembered everything, he could learn. He could investigate. He became a detective in his own murder mystery. A murder that reset every morning. He used each loop to gather clues. He'd spend one day hacking into his former colleagues' computers. Another day, he'd follow a suspicious-looking government agent who was always near the scene of his accidents. But his unseen enemy was clever. As Ares got closer to the truth, the loops became more dangerous. The traps grew more sophisticated. The friendly neighbor who always said hello. One loop, he tries to poison Aris's coffee, the delivery guy he'd seen 1,000 times. He now carries a weapon. It's as if his tormentor is watching him, adapting to his every move, raising the stakes. The world he knew was twisting into a deadly funhouse, and time itself had become his enemy. The very experiment he created to control time was now being used to hunt him down. Eris realized that just surviving until midnight wasn't the goal. The only way to break the loop was to find the mastermind, the ghost in the machine who had hijacked his experiment. He was racing against a clock that always reset, hunting a foe who could seemingly predict his every move. If he failed, he was doomed to repeat this single fatal day for all of eternity, dying over and over again. His consciousness trapped in an endless cycle of suffering with no escape. He pieces together fragments of information across hundreds of loops. A coded message here, a hidden file there. He finally tracks the source of the manipulation to a hidden server, protected by layers of futuristic encryption. He spends dozens of loops just learning the code, dying each time he triggers an alarm. Finally, one fateful loop, he breaks through. He's in He's ready to unmask his tormentor, the person who condemned him to this hell. He bypasses the final firewall and a video file begins to play. On the screen, a man appears. He's older, with a haunted look in his eyes, scars on his face that Eris has never seen before. But the face, ... The face is chillingly familiar. It's his own. It's a message from his future self. The older Eris begins to speak, his voice filled with urgency and despair. He explains that the original experiment didn't fail. It succeeded, but with catastrophic consequences. Eris didn't just travel through time. He tore a hole in the fabric of reality. This tear would grow, consuming the timeline and leading to a future of unimaginable destruction. A complete unraveling of existence. His future self had tried for decades to fix it, but it was too late. The only solution was to prevent the tear from ever happening, and the only way to do that was to stop the experiment at its source by ensuring the lead scientist, Eris himself, never survived that day. The time loop wasn't a prison. It was a failsafe. Quarantine. The future Eris had become the very puppet master he was hunting, creating this elaborate, deadly loop from the future. He had to ensure his younger self died every single day to protect the timeline. He was sacrificing his past self over and over to save everyone else. Eris stares at the screen, the truth washing over him in a wave of horror. He isn't the victim of a malicious enemy. He is the architect of his own eternal damnation, a necessary sacrifice for the sake of the universe. The loop wasn't designed to be escaped. Its purpose was to contain him forever. As the clock ticks closer to midnight, Eris is faced with an impossible choice. Does he continue to fight, to try and break a loop that he now knows must exist? Or does he accept his fate, embracing the finality of a death that he himself orchestrated? The screen fades to black, leaving Eris with the soul-crushing knowledge that his greatest enemy, his tormentor, his savior, is ... himself. What would you do? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This story is just wild, right? If you love mind-bending sci-fi like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we dive into concepts like this all the time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.